Well, so my first harvest, I worked at Buena Vista in the cellar, and I worked at Franciscan Winery, and then I worked for a company that did vineyard development for a few years because our family vineyard needed to be replanted, and it was only in the ground 3 years. A vineyard that was planted in 1989. That then 3 years later, by the time there was crop, they were already showing the first signs of phylloxera. So this was, you know, I knew I would be replanting this 25-acre cab vineyard, so I went out and got that experience of vineyard development. So my first vintage of Vinecliff was 1992, where I farmed the vineyard, and we had a winemaker. I made my first 4 vintages there, where I was personally involved in the winemaking, 94, 5, 6, 7. John Gibson was the winemaker at Stag's Leap Wine Cellars. And he was making Cask 23, and he was there from the very beginning up until they got quite a bit larger. And then he left there and came to be our winemaker, so he and I did those 4 vintages, were the first 4 where we made the wines on the property. And so then I was like his helper, like, you know, dragging hoses, cleaning presses, and so that was kind of the beginning for me there. And then over all the years at that winery, I worked with some of the best consulting winemakers in the business. You know, the way that we worked with them, so for example, I worked with Paul Hobbs, who's, you know, crazy good winemaker, 98, 99, and 2000, those 3 vintages. And it was a full-time consulting relationship, so it wasn't like an ad hoc hourly basis, it was a monthly retainer. So, you know, during harvest, I sometimes saw him almost every day. And then other times of the year when things were quiet, you know, maybe even just once a month, or some months we didn't meet. And then when we get to the blending, you know, it'd be, you know, 2, 3 mornings in a row over a course of a month, honing in on the best possible wine.